When it comes to older puzzle games, I find it really hard to write for. To go in depth with one, especially older games, you've really got to pull from all over the place if you plan to make it more than a couple minutes long. Some people who are deep into puzzle games could probably pull it off well, but for someone like me who rarely plays them anymore, the mini review format suits me well in this regard. Because while I might not play them much, doesn't mean I've never been exposed to some where I can say I can't play them competently, because I can depending on the game. Puyo Puyo is an obvious one since I did a mini review in the past on Mean Bean Machine. In fact, it's probably the best I could ever get in terms of competitive. But another game I did play a lot back in the day was a title called Yoshi's Cookie. So as many of us know, Yoshi was a concept that was considered as early as Super Mario Bros. 1, and would finally be implemented in Super Mario World about 5 years later. Pretty obvious to say Yoshi as a character was highly well received and was a bit of a breakout success at the time, who was used for a few one-off spin-off titles like the NES game Yoshi, Yoshi Safari, and of course this title, Yoshi's second puzzle game actually. The goal is to match rows of cookies to clear out the board, and you're actually given a lot of freedom in terms of maneuverability. As long as you don't run out of space, you can move as many times as you want to set up combos so you can clear the board quickly. Finish enough stages and you'll move on to the next world and move on to harder challenges, all the while receiving a cute cutscene of Mario usually getting screwed over by this cookie. Story mode isn't something that isn't really taxing, I find. I noticed coming back to this after so many years that you'd have to panic pretty badly for you to actually lose at this game. In fact, many times I just sat there waiting for the right cookies to pop up so I could finally clear the stage. Though I won't deny it does feel pretty awesome when you're able to line up a huge combo and see all those cookies fly off the screen. But yeah, if you want any challenge out of this game in terms of a single player experience, then you're gonna be doing the challenge mode where the goal is to once again clear the page of all the cookies, but the catch is you only have a certain amount of moves. Now, this is where I can see people getting the most fun and challenge out of this game. Some of these are actually pretty tricky in terms of finding the right solution. I've lost more times than I've won on the later levels. I'd probably recommend Yoshi's Cookie based on this mode by itself. Even recording footage for a bit, I actually lost track of time for a bit because it was able to suck me in. But I'd say the best part is hands down the Versus mode. Here you can pick between Mario, Peach, Yoshi, and Bowser. No Luigi though. Well, that's knocking a point off the final score right there. Yeah, fuck you game, and I'm gonna be petty as shit. But anyway, each character has their own stats which will affect the difficulty, as well as handicap and other settings that will affect gameplay. For the most part, it's no different from normal play. Just try to rack up rows of cookies to increase your win meter, and to make sure you don't time out. And much like Puyo Puyo, Yoshi's Cookie can actually be pretty competitive and exhilarating in its fast pace to outdo your opponent. It's frantic, and then you throw in the Yoshi cookies that give you special powers to fuck with your opponent, like controlling their screen alongside yours, randomizing their screen, or blocking out 9 spaces so they can't see what they're doing. It's a great time if you have someone to play with. What single player might lack, 2-player mode easily makes up for it. And it's so customizable that even if there is a skill difference, it can be balanced. I might not like everything about Yoshi's Cookie, but if I had to recommend a puzzle game based off of personal experience, well, I'd recommend Puyo Puyo, cause well, that's just a better game. But in all seriousness though, if you're looking for a fun versus mode, then don't sleep on this one. It's unique and creative enough for it to be worth checking out.